All right, so I'm gonna break down rule programming in the EST fire alarm control panel. If you're new to fire alarm, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna become an expert by learning how to program fire alarm control panels. And specifically, this program is for the Edwards system, EST3, or maybe even the EST3X. So we're gonna just work on this elevator recall, this one guy right here, right? So we have a bunch of things that's going on here. So the first thing is we need to have a qualifier. This qualifier is going to pretty much identify what's going to happen with this particular rule. Now, this qualifier is called elevator recall. What we have here, we have the alarm type. Whenever this point type goes into alarm, then they want an output action to happen. And what is that point type? We have auto elevator. So this is probably a bunch of smoke detectors. Now there's a L star underscore auto underscore elevator underscore star, and then they have apostrophes. So all of that is relevant. The semicolon, all of this is relevant. So this is the programming language, or these are the syntax that have to be inputted into this rule programming in order for this one particular rule to go true. So these asterisk stars are wild cards. So essentially this is telling me that there are more than one. So it could be L1, auto, elevator, smoke 1, or something like that. We're going to go to the objects and see exactly what this message label is. And you need this semicolon right here to divide the input statement and also the output statement. Now on the output side, they're turning on a relay. It's an elevator recall relay, and they have a semicolon to end the rule equation. And if you don't have a semicolon at the end, it's going to say that you have a syntax error. When you go to try to compile it, you're going to get a rule error. So let me show you what that means. I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to put just a regular colon, and we're going to save that, and then I'm going to close this, and then now we're going to go to rule compile. What compiling is, in short, is briefly taking ABCs, the characters that we see, the stuff that we write, and turning them into zeros and ones, so that way the cuter on the fire alarm side can understand what we needed to do. So we're going to hit compile. So now look, I got an invalid data between rules on the elevator recall, so it's already giving me a syntax error. So now what I need to do now is go back to that rule, edit that rule, and then keep the semicolon there. Now I save that. Once I save it, I exit out, and then I can compile it. So now we just compiled the rules. It took all of these letters, all of these characters. I want to say it's taking all of these characters and turning it to zeros and ones, and what the computer can understand. So to further understand what this rule is doing, right, we have this auto elevator recall. We have a vague message here with a bunch of stars, wild cards to do more than one thing. So if we X out of here, go into configure objects. Now let's just type in smoke, and you see it says L1 auto 001. So instead of me writing L1 auto 001 turn on the elevator recall, L1002 turn on the elevator recall, instead of me writing all of these input equations just to turn on one rule, they put L star to take the place of this second character. The star is taking place of this second character, so that way if we go down, there's other levels. Level 2, as you see, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. So there's multiple levels. So there's probably multiple elevator lobby smoke detectors, right? So instead of you writing a rule for all 100 input devices, we will put an asterisk star here where the 1 is at, and an asterisk star here with a 001 to take those two places. So now we go back to the rules, and it says what? L star auto elevator star, L1 auto 001. The star is the wild card, as you see, is representing the second character and the last characters. So anytime you put a wild card, or you have multiple devices with the same label text, you will use a wild card, so that way you don't have to write an input equation for each and every one. So now with the Edwards, there's label text, and then there's message text. Now the message text is the exact location of where this smoke detector is at. So this is an area smoke detector in a cellar and inside of room 31. So now how we would configure this, like I said, we would take this label text over into the rules, and manipulate it this way, so that way we can control the elevators, we can control the speakers, we can control booster panel strobes, we can control door release, we can control fan shutdowns, we can do a bunch of different things inside of the fire alarm control panel, understanding how you can write these rules. Now this may sound and be very, very, very confusing, but as I do more and more videos and you follow along, you'll understand exactly, you'll start speaking my language. So this is a quick and brief introduction on fire alarm rule programming, and I don't think anybody in the industry would ever show you how you would actually learn how to do fire alarm programming, so that way you can actually become a better technician when you're working at these companies. All right, fire alarm expert, I'm out. Peace.